On the 27th, I made a video about the rice or the potato diet or something like that, and people were asking me to make a diet type beginning of the year resolution thing. And I've had such a horrible 2 weeks, 3 weeks really, that I'm not there. I'm just not there. I told somebody today that I would make a video about this. Maybe I'll revisit it like mid-January or something like that. It's just every high and every low that you could possibly experience, I have gone through in this last 3 weeks, and it's been enlightening. And it really kind of shows me how little diet matters in the scheme of things. And I think people need to find out what they actually like to eat for themselves. These resolutions, I made a video about that as well. Maybe I'll link it here if I remember. I'm just not into it. I think you really got to find who you are, what you like, how it resonates with you, and go from there. Now, I really do think like an 80-10-10 or even like a Durian Rider style with like less than 10 grams a day. 10 grams a day is a little hard to do. I actually found like 20 grams or less a day is fine just because of my overall size. If you're, you know, I think the grams of fat like really depend on what size you are, because if you're a bigger person, you're going to eat more. And even like eating something like pasta or oatmeal or something like that, you are going to run into issues with the 10 grams. Now, I went to 10 grams of fat or less. I went to like the stores today, because I do this for DoorDash. I go to the stores, and like even oranges this time of year are so expensive. So adding fruit to your diet, I mean, like I made a quick video about this, I think like last August or something like that, maybe September. In the beginning of 2023, I was getting conventional bananas at 16 cents a pound at Aldi, just right up the road. I probably still have receipts for it. Now, they're like 69 cents a pound. We're not talking like huge money here, but like if you do the math on that, that's like 400 or 500% markup, even just on bananas. So I actually think starch is starting to look like the way to go. Even cereal's like ridiculously expensive. Some of the cereals I usually like to get for the normal size box, it's like $5, $6 a box for cereal. So I don't know. I think everybody's got to do what they got to do these days. You know, rice and potatoes do seem to be the cheapest way to go. If you know, local stuff is always cheaper, but you really got to figure out what it is that you really like to eat, because lately, honest to God, like yesterday, I put 3 or 4 dry cups of rice in my rice cooker in the beginning of the day, and that's all I ate the entire day. And then I at night for dinner, I jazzed it up, and I put some I made like a small chili, and I added the rest of the rice that was left to that to you know, to my chili. So I'm not there. You probably could see it in my face and everything. It has been a rough, like 3 weeks here, like really rough. It's probably never going to get talked about in this channel unless a few things happen. But yes. So the answer to the question, like, do what you want to do. Like the rice diet is probably more boring than the potato reset. Fruit is getting stupid expensive, so like part of the rice diet is fruit juice. I mean, this stuff is just, it's getting out of hand. Like if you got a family of like however many, I mean, even like just adding fruit to your diet now is just like ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I think down in the comments section, whoever watches this, maybe just add in what you're doing right now. Like a lot of people in my rice diet versus potato reset, go read those comments. There's a lot of good comments in there. You get a lot of advice from them, from people who are cognitively all right. I feel weird not making videos lately. It's just, so I'm making this video just to get it out there. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I can get, you know, out of my head here. And maybe the fact that I just haven't really been wanting to eat lately is probably causing a lot of these issues. But Yeah, I mean, the more I go through life, especially these last like 2 years. Last Christmas was absolutely horrible. New Year's was horrible. This year, the same exact thing. The more I really analyze life and just everything that goes along with it, the less I really start caring about some of these ideals that people put on themselves. I mean, you just never know when you're going to go. And, you know, do you really want to spend the rest of your life dieting? And, you know, it's what killed my grandmother. My grandmother died from a heart exploding in her chest because she was always on the yo-yo diet. So find something that you actually like to do and do it. Now, like I said, you know, the Dorito diet is not going to do you any good. The Taco Bell diet's not going to do you any good. Find a diet that's actually healthy, you know, and especially high carb, low fat. You know, I was watching even Robert Morse, who I'm not, you know, like the biggest fan of, but I was watching a Robert Morse video that somebody sent me today. He was talking about if you don't have carbohydrates in your diet, your body's going to start going to the fat stores and converting that to carbohydrates, which is kind of an expensive process in your body, and it leaves a lot of byproduct, which is not very good for you. And then once it gets to a point where it doesn't want to use any more fat, it starts using your protein. And once it starts using your protein, it starts using proteolytic enzymes, which have like horrible amounts of just residuals that it's in your body. It's kind of like these, you know, Tesla cars, right? You know, I don't know why anybody would buy it, but you buy a Tesla car, you take a benign material from the earth, you turn it into something that's extremely toxic, that's not renewable at all. And then you destroy the planet, you hire slave labor to do this stuff. This is basically what's going on in your body. And then you know, ship this battery all over the planet using diesel fuel, which they're, you know, supposedly against, which is causing massive issues. And then you think you're doing something good by, you know, driving a Tesla. I know there's not a direct correlation, but it's kind of the correlation in your body. And then you plug this Tesla into your house, and America, like, which is where I live, only produces like 60 or 70% of the electricity it needs. It has to buy it from other countries because we can't produce enough. And then it's just destroying the whole infrastructure. Meanwhile, fossil fuel is a completely renewable and completely doable source of energy. And it's kind of like what people are doing in this whole electronic car is kind of what people are doing on this keto diet to themselves. You know, it's internal, so you don't see it as much as you see some of these other things that we're doing, but it's the same process. And these byproducts that you're creating to have fat and protein be your fuel source, which it can't be. You know, fat can, but like your body needs carbohydrates. Your body needs it. Like it won't live without it. It's like oxygen. It won't live without it for very long. So it has to produce it from something and starts taking it from other tissues. It starts taking it from your fat, starts taking it from your bones, starts taking it from your muscles. So find a diet that is high in carbohydrates, because that's what your body is needing, because it doesn't store that much of it. It only stores a certain amount of carbohydrates. You know, like it's like anywhere from 2 to 4 pounds. That's it. That's all you got. So find a diet that is high in carbohydrates, because it's an essential nutrient. There is people who go hypoglycemic can die. They can go into a coma and die. You don't find that with fat. You don't find that with protein. You only find that with carbohydrates. So find a diet that you like, that isn't destroying your body, isn't robbing Peter to pay Paul, and just enjoy it. You know, and really, the lower the fat, the better off you're going to be. The less you're going to go into the Randall cycle, which the Randall cycle is, you know, if there's too much fat in the system, after you eat, your receptor sites that are trying to get carbohydrates get clogged, and it can't get the carbohydrates in there. So then your pancreas releases more and more insulin, and that more and more insulin is putting a lot of stress on your pancreas, and then pancreas is starting to have issues. And you keep releasing this stuff, and people wonder why they got high blood sugar. Oh, you know, the sugar's doing it. Okay. So stop doing that stuff to yourself and just have, you know, a diet that you actually like to do. Because the more stringency, or, you know, the restrictions, I should say, that you put on yourself, the more you just you resent every day of your life. And you really want to do that. I mean, most people are already going to a job they hate. Most people are already doing stuff that they can't stand all day long. And then they're restricting their diet. They're not sleeping well. They don't have any fun whatsoever in their life. And they think that they need to go to these 9-to-5 jobs. I haven't had a 9-to-5 job in like 4 years. Still got a roof over my head. So I don't know where else this is coming from. I think it's just the last 2 weeks is exploding. But yeah. Find a diet that you really like to do that's as high as possible in carbohydrates, because it's really the only essential nutrient that there is. You know, there's these essential amino acids, there's essential fatty acids or whatever, but there's so little amounts that you actually need comparatively to carbohydrates. So build your diet around carbohydrates, which ones you like. Don't starve down, you know, don't shove down like brown rice if you hate brown rice. I don't know why anybody eats brown rice, or sweet potatoes. Don't do it. I don't know why people do it if you don't like them. But if you do, eat them. So that is my advice. Leave down in the comment section what it is that you like to do. I promise this channel is going to get a lot more videos soon. I don't even want to talk about this last couple of weeks. I think it's for everybody involved to know, and nobody else. Anyways, that is my video. Just, there's so many restrictions on life. It reminds me of when I watched, when I had to pick up my cat the last time when she was dead. And I had to pick her little body up and put her in the box. And I looked at her, and as I'm picking this little body up and putting it in the box, I looked at her. She wasn't there anymore. And I realized that everything she ever needed was given to her. She didn't have to think about this stuff. And we overthink everything. She had a great life. But the more you overthink everything, the more you just destroy your life. You could have the best people coming into your life, and you overthink things. You're going to ruin everything. And you're going to wonder why. You're miserable. You know, you can tell I've had a couple of weeks here. Anyways, yes, you got everything you need. Even, you know, even when you look at the Bible and they ask Jesus, what should we be eating? He said, don't concern yourself with what you eat. But back in the day, they didn't have like vending machines everywhere. They didn't have, you know, fast food. They didn't have Doritos sitting, you know, like, I mean, it's just, I don't know why I always use Doritos. I used to like Doritos, but like, you know, they didn't have all this stuff. So, I mean, maybe if you asked them, you know, these days, it might be a different answer, but yes. I just can't do these restrictions anymore. It's just too much. It's just too much. Find what it is that you like to eat in the carbohydrate world and just eat it. Just eat it. Let us know down in the comments section. That way you can help other people. Maybe leave recipes down in the comments section. Maybe I'll start leaving recipes. Somebody asked me to make pretzels. I might make some pretzels. I may make a video about it. We'll see what happens. I know I've been pretty absent this last month, maybe 2. So we're going to try to change that. Anyways, I've closed this video out like 3 times, so I'm just going to do it. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one.